Feel incredible!
It's not a cartoon. It's anime.
Did Rob not do it? Rob, you didn't do it?
Yo, Rob was so like, oh shit.
Because I'm like, you guys got real quiet. I could hear the theme.
Oh.
And I'm like, nobody gave me the heads up that we're recording.
Oh man, I apologize.
I was like, let me know when we're starting.
Animeshun.
Rob, were you ready? Are you recording on your end?
Now I am.
Keen, I think we should start over.
No, I got it. Because I got it probably like halfway through the theme song.
Okay. Cool, perfect.
We're good.
Yeah, welcome to another episode of Animeshun. The squad is back. Somewhat. Myself, Brennan, Rob on a computer, on a laptop.
Got Plank
What up?
Rob in
And
his
Plank
bitch.
Ice. Plank Rob. I'm sorry. And we got
Like Rob.
Oh, I'm sorry. Move my mic a little closer. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, that sounds better,
There's
baby.
technical
Yeah.
difficulties for everyone.
Yeah. It's like a good thing going. Yeah, man. This week, you know what it is. You know what we do as a podcast. We review podcasts. We review anime. Talk about anime. We debate. So what we do on here, we talk that shit at. This week, we're continuing Parasyte, Ice's pick, episodes 5 through 8. Is that the right one?
Yeah, right. 5 through 8.
5 through 8.
Yep.
Go ahead, Ice. What's your
You already know. Hello. How you doing?
Ah.
Cam, get the cameras right this time, man. We fucked up the cameras when he pointed. He's so mad. Hey, you are watching or listening or whatever the fuck to the greatest fucking anime podcast in the entire world.
You know what's funny? That silence afterwards is always so great because I feel like he just loses confidence with it. It's like, in the world.
I didn't budge. I stood on
He-
that. I stand on that shit.
The look around is always like,
Go look. Go listen to the other podcast. Come back and tell me we not the fucking greatest.
I mean,
He's
honestly,
pausing for
I've listened to
applause.
some other podcasts and I might have to start agreeing with Ice on this. I mean, yeah, man, I think we have, I like us, man. We have a lot of fun out here. But yeah, episodes 4 through 8,
5
Parasite.
through 8, sir.
Yeah, I'm sorry, 5 through 8. My bad.
Jesus.
5 through 8, Parasite. You want to get us off
Parasite
going?
Maxim is actually the name of the show. 'Cause
Parasite, the Maxim.
The Maxim. Because, it's like there's the movie and all that kind of shit. So.
Okay,
that
my
came-
bad.
but this came
Parasite, the
out.
Maxim. Brennan's prepared this week. Finally, that's good.
Yeah, we got all kinds of
I knew you was
flavors.
gonna
last
fire
week.
back. I'm literally trying to
Oh,
help you.
I gotta
And then
fire
you
back.
taking it like it's a shot. I'm just
Even
like,
when
yo,
you're right, I gotta fire back, Brennan.
you're ugly. I don't know if you knew that or not.
That is not true.
Absolutely ugly. You have a
Didn't
face
you have
for
somebody
radio.
send you money last week because they thought you was cute?
Yes.
I like how he looked in the camera. He's like,
I
I don't know if y'all saw these hazel eyes, but
But yeah, we're gonna go through episodes 5 through 8. Parasite, the Maxim. Go ahead, Rob. You're gonna lead us off.
Yeah, sure. So episode 5, we start outside the city. Parasite gets in a car accident and is trying to do a head transfer to try and survive. It's the first one we've seen, the first head transfer we've seen. And Migi's already told us that these sort of transfers are super dangerous. Home Alone, Shinichi and Migi are talking about how they're becoming more and more linked. Migi says that Shinichi is becoming less human, especially psychologically, and he seems kind of shaken by this. Soon he runs into some bullies from a rival school, beating up one of his classmates, somebody he even fought with at one point, and Shinichi stands up for him, refuses to fight the guys, and gets pummeled as a result while Migi is asleep. And the bullies are just calling him fake, fake. He's a fake hero, while some girl that's with him, Kana, seems to notice that there is something different about Shinichi.
Yeah.
So at school, people noticed that he was in a fight and some of the bigger tough guys offer to, back him up next time. And it's not long before he needs it. He and Murano are walking home from school later that day and run into the same set of bullies. They threaten to take Murano, but Shinichi won't back down or fight them again and takes another ass beating, even with Migi awake this time, just begging him to stay out of it. Eventually, his backup arrives and Shinichi and Murano are able to get away.
I
They pulled
respect
up.
the bullies though, because they were like, "You brought more people, run it still."
Right.
yo, that was crazy.
They
Oh,
were
you,
like,
you
run
think that's
it.
gonna change
Change
shit?
it, yeah.
It's like yes,
Yes, exactly.
we do.
Even
I
if
respect
all
it.
of us can't fight,
This is definitely a different
It's
fight
just a
now.
numbers game.
Yeah.
Even
It
his
is a numbers
Parasite
game.
was like, oh, fam, look at like these guys are smart.
Yeah.
They have strength in numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Elsewhere, the parasite from the opening is withering away. It had been on a woman's body and switched to a man's, and it's just being rejected. And so it knows that it has to find a woman somewhere out there to take as its new host body. Back at home, Murano is stitching, Shinichi's wounds back up, but turns him down when he drops the hotline like, hey, my parents are out of town. Why don't you stay over? But Kana shortly shows up after that and offers to bury the hatchet. She's clearly interested in him and whatever it is that makes him different. But Migi says she's ultra perceptive and somehow is able to pick up on the parasite waves as a human and warns Shinichi to stay away from her. So Shinichi's parents, supposedly safe out in the countryside, have the worst vacation ever as the parasite from the road does eventually find them and kills Shinichi's mom, wounds the dad, and takes her body.
Say what happens. Doesn't just kill Shinichi. Cuts her
Decapitates
fucking
her.
head off.
Clean
Like,
off.
Chopping heads.
Move off.
In front of her husband.
I yelled. I said, yo!
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that moment.
I wasn't.
I
I
didn't
was
see that
fucking-
coming either.
yeah.
I was just like, what's going on?
His mama?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, this is about to get personal.
Yo.
I didn't know it was
Yeah.
about to get so personal.
That quick.
But the dad manages to get to a payphone and calls Shinichi and just tells him that some sort of monster attacked his mom. And of course,
Can we
Shinichi
take a
knows
moment
what this
just to-
is immediately.
Hold on, Rob, let's just take a moment to appreciate how boss the dad is. He's the only regular human to escape an attack from the parasite
Yeah. Where was his cell phone at? Why did he need a payphone?
because he had to escape an attack from the parasite.
He said that he lost his phone and tablet later on, but
Yeah.
But before he can find out where he is, the dad passes out and he can't find him. So he stays the night there, is waiting for some sort of contact from authorities, his dad. But it's not long before somebody else shows up, and it's the parasite using his mother's body, looking for the dad. Shinichi just completely refuses to believe that she could be a parasite, despite Migi's repeated warnings. And when it comes into attack, he pauses and won't let Migi attack, and the parasite strikes a mortal blow on Shinichi right in the heart and leaves him there to just bleed out. The next episode starts with Migi working fast as he's dying out on the floor, and he manufactures a new heart for him made out of that same parasite material. At school, it seems like several days have gone by and Shinichi hasn't been to class. Murano and their friends are starting to worry about him and decide to check up on him after school. During that time, we see Migi has been keeping Shinichi alive by force feeding him food from the kitchen. And when he finally wakes up, he looks like he's lost a lot of weight and he has a huge scar right in the middle of his chest where he was stabbed.
Yeah.
Soon after that, he gets a call from the hospital near where his parents vacationed. He finds out that his dad is still alive and goes to leave immediately, but runs into Murano waiting outside. He tells her, I'm not going to be at school for a while, but I will be back, and vows himself to get revenge. He is traveling on maybe the fanciest yacht. I don't know how you get I don't know if that's standard Japanese travel, but that looked pretty fancy to me. But he meets a fellow passenger named Maki that tells him that she can help him find the hospital when they arrive. He arrives and finds his dad being questioned by police. They told him that the mother was spotted back at their hotel and she can't possibly be dead like he said she is. Shinichi, of course, knows better, but doesn't want to push it too far since his father's mental state is quite clearly fragile. He does find a nearby hotel so he can monitor if the parasite returns for his dad. Coincidentally, it's run by Maki's family, and she just continues to be happy to help him. He's right. The next night, or that night, Migi explains to Shinichi how he saved him and how they are even more closely merged now. However, the effort to keep Shinichi's body to keep him running requires him to take a 4-hour rest at some point in the day that he's completely unable to awaken from. He knows that
going to inconvenience him at some time.
Yeah, he tells him, listen, I can feel the hostility that you have for parasites. I get it, but you got to know, this is a weakness we both have now. The next day, Shinichi is keeping guard for his dad when he runs into Maki again, and that's immediately when Migi senses some other parasite nearby. Thinking that this is the fight he's waiting for, Shinichi takes off towards the beach and just shows superhuman speed and agility, leaping over a 10-foot seawall to find his target. It's clear that Migi is changing Shinichi mentally and now physically as well. And as he gets to attack mode, they get down to this guy on the beach and calls out to stop where he is. But it turns out at the beginning of the next episode, it's not who he thought he was. Instead, it's another human whose parasite wasn't able to reach the brain and instead settled in the jaw / chest area. This guy named Uda explains that he was contemplating suicide after his wife left him when he was attacked by the parasite, who they've simply agreed to just call Parasyte. They both tumbled off a cliff into the water, and Parasyte was able to save them both by using Uda's mouth like a snorkel. Shinichi tells him his story, and Uda weeps at the tragedy over all of it, and Shinichi starts to wonder why he hasn't cried at all, even since hearing the news of his mother. They all become friends. Parasyte seems to be pretty chill and is kind of a wise ass after learning how to talk from watching TV. And Uda says he lives in the next town and will keep Shinichi posted if he sees his mom coming. Back at the hotel, Migi explains that Shinichi's improved physical abilities must be because of their closer merging. In fact, their cells are starting to mix together, and Shinichi is becoming superhuman, closer in abilities to the parasites themselves. And Shinichi is not exactly thrilled. So the next day, Maki tries to talk with Shinichi, but he's cold and distant even after all her help. So she gets frustrated and storms off. But just as that happened, he gets the call from Uda that his mother's parasite is there and chasing him down. So Shinichi runs off to confront her. But just as they get close, Miki says, hey, this is the time I got to rest. So you're going to have to fight your mom alone. But he is able to change into a sword before resting. Uda and the parasite get cornered by the monster and
clutch,
I'm
about to pass out, but I'll give you a weapon. Don't die, please.
Yeah, it's something, I guess. But Uda and the parasite are cornered by the monster, trying to hold out for backup, but the monster breaks through their defense and stabs Uda right in the heart. Shinichi arrives and engages in the fight, and because of his heightened abilities, is actually able to hold his own and go toe-to-toe with the monster. He can see the movements, he can block the attacks, he's even able to get some of his own, and he's about to land the killing blow when he sees his mom's scar, and it gives him just that second of pause. However, before the monster can strike back, Uda and the parasite emerge alive, having moved his heart out of the way before the blow came and take the monster's head straight off. The revenge is complete. But Shinichi wraps up his business in the beach town, says goodbye to Maki and Uda, has a moment with his dad where they seem to have some sort of peace about their mother's death as they look out on the water, and Shinichi just finally collapses in exhaustion after everything that he's been through. Back home, both Kana and Murano are excited to see Shinichi return to town and now sporting a brand new haircut, just like he looks at the end of the opening.
So it's Spider-Man
A whole
3
different
type
person.
shit?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But on episode 8, somewhere in a dark place in the city, a very pregnant Ryoko is asking another parasite with a younger host body to spy on Shinichi. Kana and the bully are having troubles too, as he finds out, she seems to be interested in him, and he gets super jealous and tries to confront Shinichi. But he's completely different now. He refuses to fight, but he isn't afraid to defend himself, and the power has completely swung the other way.
Ultra instincts and itchy, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Soon Murano shows up and Shinichi leaves with a threatening look towards the bully, and Murano starts to wonder how much and why Shinichi has changed. Back home, things aren't healing as well as they seem. Shinichi's dad is depressed and drinking heavily. Shinichi again wonders why he isn't feeling sad and wonders if he's losing his humanity. The next day, on the walk to school, he and Murano save a puppy that got hit by a car, but it's too hurt to live and dies pretty soon after that. Shinichi then fucks the whole thing up by throwing the body in the trash.
Throw it in a damn trash can.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, but he was like, the thing is, I feel like that's a net zero because he took the dog, he cuddled the dog or gave it like a good last few minutes after trying to save its life. And then, of course, he shouldn't have threw it away. But at the same time, he could have left it in the street.
And the lady said that. His girl said that, but still, you don't throw it in a trash can.
Yeah,
Peter's
Peter's not having that, bro. They see this episode, they're gonna boycott this show. They don't even.
They would have boycotted from that dog getting killed in the first episode.
Earlier,
Yeah, they wouldn't have stuck around long after that. Murano yells that he has changed. He's become cold, and she runs off. He realizes he's becoming too much like Migi and takes the puppy out and does bury it under a tree nearby. At school, at school he's confronted by Ryoko's spy, the parasite, who we find out is named Hideo. He says that he wants to be friends with Shinichi, but he and Migi are rightly suspicious, especially when he finds out that Hideo's in Murano's class and he flaunts his extra abilities in gym class. But Hideo does say that he's not there to hurt Shinichi or any humans. In fact, he's trying to blend in. He says he's living off of human food and wants to try and coexist with humans. Shinichi thinks on this, but continues to fuck up his situation with Murano, accidentally scaring her at one point with his intensity, and then later getting caught walking Kana home after she has a close brush with Hideo, who didn't seem like he was trying to blend in. As Shinichi walks Kana home, he warns her that he and Hideo are dangerous and that she should stay away from people like him. But of course, that only makes her more interested. But at home, Shinichi and his dad have a tense exchange where his dad accuses him of acting tough, but being hollow inside. Elsewhere, Hideo confirms that he is not on the up and up as he changes his face to imitate some sort of model in an ad and then lures this human girl away and consumes her for a meal. And that's where we leave off at the end of these 4 episodes.
Shit.
I didn't watch the 4 at first, but I remember I was talking to Brennan. He was like, "This shit gets dark," and then Rob texted me, was like, "This shit gets dark."
Yeah, I like it. I like the dark turn. I'm here for it.
Yeah, it got there, man. And there's some deep stuff in here. Like, one of the things that was said in here was the quote that he said, "You're all steel, but you're hollow inside." So one of the questions is, has anybody ever said something like that to you that like changed your life, that hit you so hard, then it changed you? Like, oh shit, I gotta check myself. Brennan?
I have two answers to this.
Okay.
So let's start the timer. But I have 2 answers to this. The first answer is one of the moments where that made me very self-conscious afterwards is that I have an extremely talented family with my brother and my sister. My brother is a visual artist. If you see his artwork, it's ridiculous.
Amazing.
And my sister was like a 4.0 valedictorian, full ride scholarships, University of Michigan, all the way through elementary school through. That's what she was. Yeah. No trouble, no nothing. And then there was me. And so at my uncle's funeral, my godmother rolled up on me on the pew and was like, "Oh, Raina," that's my sister. "Yo, like, you are the future AIDS doctor solving blah, blah, blah. You're the best. And Alonzo, the Picasso, the greatest artist ever. And Brennan, what do you do?"
Oh my God.
My godmother, not their godmother.
Yeah.
My godmother said that.
Fuck.
What went through your body? Like,
I was already at my uncle's funeral.
Hot piss.
So I was already like sad.
Oh my
And like
God, man.
I had like anger run through me and then just numbness.
Yeah.
How old were you?
14.
Yeah.
Worst time to hear something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's brutal.
Damn, dude. That is brutal.
And the second story was, I actually don't remember who said this to me.
Or
but it's
you
something
like?
that
Are you?
changed me.
Whoa. Are you going back to her and like, look?
I haven't talked to
Godmama?
her in a long time.
I might be on Brennan's side with that one. I got nothing shit to say to you.
You gotta
say
show
the
her.
godparent
She'll see me
ain't
on the
really
television
shit.
one day. She'll see me in the credits or something. I don't know.
Yeah, godparents ain't really nothing. What was the other one quick?
I'll tell Keon you said that.
Yeah.
I'm the godfather.
Yeah, he's the godfather to Keon's
He
child.
already told that to me before. He's like, come on. I got uncles. He's fine.
Wow.
Hilarious.
The other one was just, I don't remember where I heard it, but it resonated through me, is that how you are in any moment is how you are in every moment.
I like that.
Yeah, and for me, it's just like you can see who somebody really is in every moment if you pay attention to how they are. And you can pay attention to yourself. How did you react to whatever's going on? You can see a lot from that. So
That's real.
those are the 2 things.
How about you, Rob?
I'm sure I've had a few over my life, but the one that literally came to mind first was I remember 4th grade. My teacher, Mr. Hatcher, like took me aside one time. I was like not doing great, struggling with multiplication. I had gotten into a couple of scuffles with some other kids.
Oh, Rob was fighting him?
What school were you fighting in?
Elementary school. I mean, hey man, there's a fucking A in it. I'm just pronouncing it. But I remember, my teacher, Mr. Hatcher, took me aside and he was like, "Rob, I'm telling you, you got a mind like a Ferrari and you drive it like a jalopy." And that messed me up for a while. That really put me back and I was like, oh shit, like I could be doing better. And that was definitely a turning point for me. I got the multiplication table after that. I figured it out. And he recognized that. He was a big influence on my life. I remember when I graduated high school, I invited him to, attend the ceremony, but I think he had moved to like Scotland or something like that.
Yeah, you just another kid to me. Fuck that.
I know, right? Well, that's teachers. But I did keep in contact with him a little bit. But, as you get older, you just lose touch.
Yeah. Quick quote. It was like when I walked across the college stage. I didn't graduate. I walked. Cap and gown. No thing. And my brother and his friends, they got me a shirt that says, "I never finish anything." And as funny as they got a laugh out of it, I laughed too at the moment, but I realized at that moment in time I didn't finish it. There were so many things that I started.
Did you finish
and
high school?
Well, I finished high school, but
There you
besides
go.
that, nobody counts high school. That's supposed to be a given. But there was so many things in between there that I started that I quit on. and my brother, like, they laughed at it, but that shit affected me for years.
Wow.
And that's why, I go super hard now to get shit done. I'm on time everywhere to do that. I was never late to stuff, but that shit stuck with me to this day. How about you?
I can see why. Yeah, that's tough.
I think one of the things for me that stuck out was my basketball coach.
You're trash. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
He told me good enough wasn't good enough because initially when I was playing, I played at a private school, and then like I was kicking ass and like just going stupid, and then I was like, well, this shit is good enough. Like he's like, no, like we're about to go like bump our school up. Like when you get to this level, like you're gonna have to like good enough isn't good enough. Like I would like. I wasn't coming first in the drills, but he kind of like a Rob situation. Like he knew my potential, but I wouldn't come first in the drills. I would just do the necessary things, and I would show up on game time. I'm like, I'm showing up on game time. Like
practice?
What the fuck is basically
we talking
Allen
about
Iverson
practice?
He was like, good enough isn't good enough. Like you gotta fucking execute every day and go hard in the paint every day with everything that you do. And I was like, all right, cool. Like,
All right.
That's what's up.
So next question, man. Last week we were a little tough on. Well, not really tough. We didn't, we were a little, I guess, lukewarm on Shinichi as a character. What are your thoughts on his arc now this week? Is it heading in a positive direction, Rob?
I do like where his character's going. I don't know if I would say that he is going in a positive direction. I feel like he is struggling to stay in a positive direction. Yeah. But what I think I've enjoyed about this, especially this last 4 episodes, is the show has gone in a completely different direction with Shinichi than I expected. I expected this show was going to be Shinichi teaching Migi how to love, but really what it's come down to is Shinichi struggling to keep his humanity as he gets further and further away from where he started and closer to Migi, and if that's even a good thing. And I think that's super debatable if that's a good thing, because while it can be like a net zero with the puppy thing, like he is losing a piece of himself in this transformation. I'm liking the arc so far. I like him as a character. He's interesting.
Brennan?
I agree with Rob. I think that it's something to be said about how far, like the difference between in the first 4 episodes and the first 5 episodes, the difference between Shinichi and Migi was so fast. It was like an ocean between them emotionally.
Right.
And now that Shinichi is coming more towards the middle, it makes you wonder what he would have done if he was already in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that already was kind of sort of emotionless. Because for me, I think he already would be Migi. You know what I'm saying? He'd already be there. He would have no problem about whatever. He wouldn't care about how other people feel. But the thing is that still separates him now is he still cares how other people feel. And I think that's only because he was so far on that spectrum,
right?
Of caring about not only how everybody feels about the things that he thinks they might feel about. Like before, he was super sensitive to it, and now he's getting more to like a somewhat emotionless human being, but that's like still within the scope of what a human being can be,
right?
So I find it kind of interesting, but like I said, I love it. I love the dark turn. I love that he's gonna have to battle with this. And I love that. I still think there is going to be a part where he's going to still pull Muggy back towards the emotional side at parts where there's just not a right answer. I predict that's going to happen. Like there's not a correct answer here.
Right.
And Miggy's going to have to make a choice, and he's going to reference like, how does this feel, or how is this going to reflect on how someone feels about me, or something like that for the first time. I think that might have to happen.
Nice.
I like the gray area that he's in right now. I think that's pretty dope because that's but that's being a human being. And I think the dog situation is the perfect example of that because it's like, I got the dog out the street, but I threw it in the fucking trash can. And that's the whole dichotomy of just like being a human being. Like you do something right, but you also still ain't shit. And I think for me, that spoke to me because, not to get too personal, but like that's kind of who I am. Like there's a lot of things that I do really well and I treat people really well, but I've made a lot of mistakes. So it's like that constant struggle of just who you are, just being a human being. And I think what I appreciate most about his character progression is the fact that like they ground it and they make it plausible because a lot of times in anime they honky-dory one episode and in the next episode they cutting somebody's head off with nothing, or it take them 2-3 seasons to get that killer instinct. So I think this was it did it fast, but it didn't do it too fast, and they made it plausible like, hey, the reason that you're desensitized like this is because I've been broken up into so many pieces, and it's messing with your brain and who you are. So it made it very plausible. Like, okay, now I can see this shift, and you can be really quick with it and do it in 8 episodes because they make it like scientific, basically.
You know, what's really interesting to me, what this showed us, what you just kind of hit on a little bit there, Ice, is that is a picture into the illogical things humanity does that we never even think are illogical.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we take on corpses and give them ceremonies and give them things like, and we call it celebrating their lives or anything like that. But to the corpse itself, it's meaningless because this is now just a collection of water and carbon. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all it is. And so it's just like, yeah, but that collection of those things at one point meant something to me because there was something more to it. But like the way he treated that dog, you could logically say, it's like, yeah, we can still celebrate his life, but we don't need this husk of a body to do that, kind of thing. And it's just for me, when I was watching that, I was just like, he makes sense. Yeah. But as a human being, I'm like, huh.
That's fucked up.
It still feels wrong.
It feels wrong. It does feel wrong.
And that's just because our society has built
that's what we do.
Lifestyle, a culture of funerals, or at the very least, cremation.
Because we were taught that. You know what I'm saying? That's not like, but the other thing is you see like elephants do it too. When elephants roll up and they see like the bones of another elephant or something like that, they get emotional, they get slow. It's a thing.
Yeah. I have to agree. I didn't get a chance to speak on it, but
oh, sorry.
Yeah, Brittany, you have to take your time.
Right.
I had to speak.
I thought you had spoken. I
no,
apologize.
No, it's all good. But I guess I'll just wrap it up real quick and agree with what you guys are pretty much saying. I'm going to be excited because I feel like Shinichi and Migi are going to actually have to teach each other. Or I think Mickey's gonna be teaching him the emotional side at some point in this story because he's gonna start to get more emotional because I feel like he kind of reads more and he kind of does more studying. He's gonna like reteach Shinichi some stuff and then Shinichi's gonna teach him some stuff and then they're gonna kind of balance each other out. So I think it's dope where it's going. I didn't expect this super dark turn with no emotion, but that leads us to the next question. Actually, is would you give up emotion for power, Brandon?
Yes.
Oh wow! You would give up all emotion, love.
No, I'm just joking. Because for me, so this is the question I came up with, and it's a really difficult question because the thing is like I didn't really mean it as like an absolute, in the sense like if you could trade in some of your emotion to get some power.
That's what it is.
It's absolute.
You want to do absolute?
Yeah, absolute.
Then no, because we're not defining what kind of power it is either.
Whatever power you want. It's whatever.
There's the absolute power.
Yeah, it's you get to choose, lose emotion, but you get to pick whatever power you want.
Huh. What if the power is to be able to have emotions and read other people's emotions?
I'm not saying power in the sense of like you're able to
I don't know. Ice, what would you do?
And you don't have to choose that. You can just say, no, I want to keep my emotion.
I mean, as of this moment, I feel like if I was to lose my emotion, that's like losing your humanity.
Right.
And I won't be able to relate to anybody anymore. Yeah. And that's my favorite thing to do. So I wouldn't let go of the emotion because my ability to relate with people is like my superpower.
Yeah.
And so for me to give that up to have something else, I'm good for now.
I agree. I think for me too, as much as I guess the older I get, the more tapped in I am to my emotions.
Yeah.
The older I've gotten, I've cried more. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. But when you get a little bit older, you get a little bit of emotion about things. All right.
I agree with that, actually. No, I fully agree with that.
I think you start to tap in and you don't care anymore what people think. Like, it's not about, like, if you cry, it's not like, oh, man, you a bitch. I'll be like, well, after I wipe these tears off, we can fight, and then I go back to crying. It's not a big fucking deal.
You can get these hands.
Yeah, but it's like.
They can get the what, Brennan?
Yeah.
The hands.
The hands.
Show them the hands.
The hands.
Keenan handled it. Keenan handled it.
But that's the thing, though. I feel like emotion is a part of your humanity. What do you think, Ice?
Who?
Ice?
Yeah, that was like you said Rob Ice.
Yeah, I just said Rob Ice. Yeah. Go ahead,
Ice.
That's a tough question for Ice. Look at
There's no power out there that I would want.
Ice, look at me. Any power.
You can't have emotion for the rest of your life. That means your son, you can't have emotion.
Yeah, that's the thing that, like, I
think
that's what makes it tricky is my son. Like,
you want.
I was joking with my dad the other day, and I said, and I told my dad, I tell my son, I love him more times in a day that you told me my entire life. Mm-hmm. And we both, like, died laughing, which is like, but at no point in my life did I not know that he didn't love me. And
right.
I don't know if you worded that right, but I think I know what you meant.
Yeah, they show emotion different from that generation. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's just how they just show love really differently.
Yeah.
And I think I would want that. I would want to be able to have that connection with him. I want to be able to say that I love you and give him that confidence and that emotional investment because I would just need to do it, and I think there's no level of power that would make me not want to do that.
And you would destroy your son if you didn't. If you didn't have that emotion, it would destroy him.
Especially like right now, like I've been cultivating and nurturing him up into then, and then bam, I just turned emotionalist.
Right.
Like that would destroy him more than just being emotionalist from the gate, because it's like
You'll
you
be a
already
shell.
given me something.
Yeah, Rob.
We already know what Rob's gonna say.
Yeah, no, I agree with all you guys. Honestly, no, I agree because like I feel like I feel I have a pretty strong sense of empathy, and that would be really tough to lose because just like Brennan said, like that's so much of what makes somebody who they are.
Yeah.
Even just to look at other pieces of fiction where you see similar things like, Dr. Manhattan, who has the power of a god, but like because of that does lose his humanity, and his whole struggle is like, is he who he used to be anymore? I think that price is too steep to pay pretty much for anything. And I think that part of both Shinichi and Dr. Manhattan's like storyline is that it's more of a curse than it is a gift,
Facts.
Yeah.
Unless you want to get revenge on somebody.
Unless that, yeah. But you have no emotion, so you wouldn't care about getting revenge.
Yeah.
Oh, good, great point. Yeah.
You wouldn't care about the person you lost.
Okay.
It's
All
just
right.
whatever. It's
Well,
just-
Rob,
it's just a
shut
piece
that
of
down
meat.
fast.
Yeah, that was it. Thank you for that, Rob. It felt
right.
good to say though.
And for me, I think kind of like what Keenan was saying, like where I'm at right now is the most, like my emotional spectrum isn't that far to begin with, but this is the most emotional that I've been in my entire life. And then I feel like not cheated, but it's like, damn, like if I had these emotions back then, like I would enjoy life so much more, just the love
Facts.
aspects. It's like if
Yeah.
I was able to take how I love stuff
Hey.
now.
Our ice is growing up.
Oh my
Our
god.
ice is growing up, guys.
30 years old changes. I don't know what 30 does, but when you hit
It
30,
changes,
it's just a different button. I don't know what it is.
It was
And
31
and it's just
for me.
and that's the
It's about
crazy
31 for
part.
me, yeah.
And I wish I could just like, damn, if I could go back in these moments and have
Yeah.
the emotional capacity that I have now, I'd be so happy.
Young man
I'm
pride.
I'm so proud of you growing
oh
up.
my god.
Young man pride. it's good and
All
bad
right.
at the same time.
Moving on.
All right.
So
Next
proud
question.
Of you guys. Good job.
Shinichi obviously has women because it wasn't worded to me that way. It was worded another way.
I wonder who wrote that.
Bitches.
Shinichi obviously has a lot of ladies on him now with this new fly haircut that he has out here looking like a model. What is the most women you dated at the same time, and did they know? Ice.
First and foremost, I just want to say
Why would you write this question?
no, because
This is called dry stitching. That's what the fuck this is.
not dry.
I mean,
That's
wait
why
till
I
you get to my
wanted-
answer. Go ahead.
That's
Go ahead.
why I wanted this question for somebody specifically, and you have to answer it.
Okay.
And
I don't think Brandon gonna shy away from that.
what I will say is it's kind of like the Cat Williams joke. I only using bitches because it's like I'm not I don't call bitches in real life.
That
outside of that-
statement in itself.
I don't like. That's not how
way you're
I
supposed
don't
to say
call
it's the
women
bitches in
but
real
you
life.
said I
You
call
don't call
bitches
bitches, which is like defeating the whole
You
purpose
just
of the
called
statement.
them bitches.
Oh, I'm
You literally
sorry.
just
I
did
did not
that.
try to do that. I call women.
That's the whole point.
He hasn't changed. Brendan.
Not at
He said
all.
He's growing up.
We-
Wow.
Wow,
I
you
did
really-
not, I did not
Thank you,
lose
Keenan.
that fast.
Go ahead.
Thank
I
you,
do
Keenan.
not call women bitches in real life. That's not how I talk. I have a son, and I'll raise him to love women and protect them. So back to what
Because
I
they
was
need
saying.
it, obviously.
In college was wicked. So
Yeah.
You're already a minute and a half into your answer, by the way.
8.
8. Did they know?
Yeah, for the most part.
Most part.
Cause it's like
Were they track girls?
2 of them, maybe 2, 3, but most of them is just like, cause a lot of people thought I played football, cause all of the athletes they get all the same gear, so they just like assume that I played football, and it's like that's like the hierarchy, like basketball, football, cause that year like we were going stupid, so it's like football and basketball were guys. It's like track was cool, but it was like down there on the pecking order, so it's like I'm not gonna tell you I'm not a basketball player, but if you ask, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Right.
So it's like.
Sounds like ice. Brennan?
I got nothing.
Oh, bullshit.
I mean, like,
I'm about to say, answer the question.
Damn.
I don't know. Like, when I was right out of, like, when I lived in Detroit, I was having a good time.
Nobody was fucking with you with your fucked up leg and your balding head. You was
Okay.
not getting women like that.
So I didn't say college. I said when I lived in Detroit. I didn't go to college in Detroit,
Oh
but I
my
appreciate
God.
your ignorance
Here you
there.
go. Here you go. You
I
keep
lived in
moving
Detroit
cities.
after I lived in college. After I went to
Oh.
college. So this is when I was 22.
After you lived in college.
Man, you with your assumptions making yourself look so fucking dumb.
Not at all. You the one that's
so-
always switching cities.
I didn't. Okay. All right. So when I was living in Detroit, it might have been like 3 or 4. And yeah, they knew about it because I'm pretty honest. I'm pretty open. So yeah.
For me, it was around like 7 women, but the ones that asked, I told. The ones that didn't, I didn't say anything to. I never was like, yo, anybody's my girlfriend, and they didn't know. And then I just can't do that. I'm a big calmer person. I don't want to wake up in cold sweats. I don't want to wake up to a broken phone, stabbed. I don't want to, none of that shit.
Wake up stabbed. You gonna wake up dead?
Wake up, man.
So I was just like, and it was like around that college time. It was just like one of those, and a lot of the times the girls was just like, "Yo, you ain't number 1 on mine either, bro. Like you number 4." Like,
That's the quick part that a lot of people don't talk about. Like,
so I mean,
women got way more game than dudes.
yeah. So
way
when
more.
when it came to college, especially, they had their options, and I didn't. We all, none of us mind that. So I didn't have an issue with it. They didn't have an issue with it. Yeah, Rob.
Yeah, this is the answer I've been waiting for.
This is
Big Rob,
the reason
big
you
RV
actually-
Danger.
This is the reason
This
you
is
asked
the
the
reason I
question.
asked. It wasn't for Brennan. It was for Rob.
RV Danger. Let's go.
Look at his face. Look at his face.
Did you freeze? I thought he froze.
So like the summer to fall time before I moved out to LA when I knew I was leaving town.
Oh, I
it was
knew
kind
this
of a
story.
It was
Okay.
kind of a time for me. I want to say it was about like 5.
Let's go.
Okay.
Rob out here with the 5-piece.
You hear that
Hey,
voice?
that's toxic masculinity, guys. Don't root him on for this. Go ahead, Rob.
You're right. I was trash. Did any of them know? I think maybe one of them, but it didn't come up.
Damn.
So they didn't ask, right?
No, but I wasn't like it wasn't like I was in a relationship with any of them. I was just we were just going out, hanging out.
Rob, I gotta hear. What was your go-to move as far as like picking up ladies?
I don't know if I had a go-to move, honestly.
Hard question.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know. I would
tough.
say to that
Nah,
either.
I
I
was
don't know.
very-
Win them over with my
personality.
awkward personality, mostly.
Yeah, I operated off them. So I just like whatever they were doing, however I was doing, whatever. I would just kind of be like, all right, let me maneuver in that way. I didn't have a specific line or game like that. It was just
Yeah,
like,
same.
Moving
I didn't have a
on.
line.
Moving on.
Okay, so a lot was going on in here, man. Shinichi got beat up in front of some girls. You know what I'm saying? So that's my question for y'all. Have you ever been with a girl and try to either protect her and got beat up, or got into a fight in front of a girl? So it's like a two-parter. So if you got into a fight to protect a girl, did you win or lose? Me personally, I
That's an L.
No. I made sure to try to diffuse the situation first, because a lot of times I dated one particular girl who was one of those like, my man will whoop you all y'all.
Oh man,
Fellas,
Oh,
look.
that's cool. I
And it was-
can't. I
and
can't
it was
with that.
Beat his ass.
It was never a one-on-one situation where it was like a guy fight this guy. It was always like a group of men. Like, my man will whoop y'all asses. It's just like, bro,
No, I won't. No, I won't. She's lying. She lied to y'all.
Hey, fellas, 5'9", 165 barely. Okay. But my thing was just like, all right, if we're gonna do a one-on-one, it's cool. But it was like, yo, bro, she's a little drunk right now. She's tripping, and they'd be like, all right. Luckily, a lot of in those situations, those guys and say, because I've seen it happen. I've seen a guy go like, man, check your bitch, and you're like, oh, so now we have to fight just off that. That never happened. So I never had it, but I have seen a girl get beat up trying to protect like a guy from other women though.
Yeah.
What about you, Ice? You like to throw hands, so
Yeah, man. That's the closest I've never got beaten up in a fight, but the closest I've ever got beaten up in a fight was because of a girl, and it was in junior high, and I was walking with my girl, and this big motherfucker, I'll never forget, his name was Devin McGee, and he was a big ass fat dude. He was just like, yeah, when you want a real man, come holler at me.
in middle school.
In middle school, bro, 8th grade.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
8th
Damn.
grade, he said, when you want a real man, come holler at me. And she was like, I was like, she with a real man, bitch. And then
Was
like,
your voice even deep by then?
You know what's funny, and I have tape to prove this. My voice was actually deeper when I was younger.
Oh, okay.
It's the weirdest shit ever. But that's another story. But like I was like, what? He's like, what you want to do? So I'm punching him. He's just taking this shit because he's fat as fuck. He picks me up, like lifts me off my feet and throws me against the locker. And then he like pulls back to punch me. And if he would have connected with this, I probably just now be waking up right now today. Like, like he pulled back to punch me, and I just start fucking uppercutting him like this, like fast as fuck, and he dropped me just because I was hitting him. And then like they broke it up. But I was like, thank God, like
that was an L coming.
I wouldn't have, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and I've been in so many situations, that so many fights because of women. I got jumped before because of women, and I won, but like it was weird. Like it's so many times that
I personally think if a woman gets you in a fight, you can take an L. If it's your own fight, you can't. But if a woman gets you in one, you didn't ask for it.
I don't think you ever really should take an L.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you
Nobody
should.
ever wants to.
Nobody wants to.
But it's not really
right.
Like, you're always going to give your best, is my point. So,
right.
You know, it's not like, hey, I didn't give my best today because this woman started it. It's like, no, I'm not about to get my ass beat for me or anybody else. Like,
Rob, what about you?
No, never like a physical fight. Like there have been a couple times, like, you know, I've had to like talk to somebody, but never like I'd had to like fight over something or like, you know, fight him or like, oh, he insulted who I was with, so I had to go after him. No, like I remember like the only time it kind of got like that actually it was Andrea. We were at like a Rouse or something like that, and somebody left like some like shopping carts in one of the like parking spots, and Andrea was actually putting them back, and some woman in her car like pulled up and was just like started like yelling at her like, what the fuck, like why are you leaving all these carts here? And I got in her window and I was like, she's fucking cleaning them up, mind your own goddamn fucking business, and started screaming at her until she drove off.
A little bitch. That's what you said. Did you say that?
Guys, I said bitch though? No, I told her to fuck off. No, I don't think I called her a bitch. I did tell her to shut the fuck up and get out of here.
Yeah, okay. What about you, Brendan?
I think it's kind of similar to Rob. I've been in some tense situations that could have become fights.
Yeah.
But I do a really good job of avoiding fighting because, like he said, I'm 5'7", and in college I was $150. So it just, I don't have any business really fighting much of anybody. Of course, I have confidence. Like, yo, if it's coming to me and it has to happen, then I promise you're gonna regret this fight.
Right.
Am I gonna win? I don't know, but you're gonna regret it.
Don't you know like Crawl McGraw or something like that? What's it called?
Yeah.
Crawl.
No,
McGraw?
I've done some martial arts, but I'm not like a martial artist. Like I did a year and a half of like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I did Bagua, which is like Qigong. It's like Tai Chi, Xingyi, and Qigong, and
I couldn't
Bagua.
tell you what that is. It sounds like like
it's
the
internal
pure,
martial
like,
arts.
You sound like you made that shit up.
So,
I don't know.
If you like watch Avatar, the water bending is Tai Chi, you know, stuff like that. So either way, I did that. But the only story I could think of when you asked that question actually was one of the times that I almost got like I was probably it. When I think about the most enraged I've ever been, I remember sitting at the black kids lunch table, and there was a girl sitting across from me, and I don't remember what happened, but she was just feeling some type of way. And she was talking all this shit in front of all the other motherfuckers at this table.
She was what?
Talking all this shit at me.
She was black?
Yeah, she was black.
Oh, I was about to say.
And so she was saying whatever, just talking all this shit in front of everybody. You know how when the black table gets louder and louder.
Yep.
And then she took her little makeup thing out, like one of these lip gloss things that was heavy as shit, and threw it at me. And it hit me like right here.
That's the worst.
Right on. And it hurt. I, like, you know how you get so mad you tear up kind of shit?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I had to leave. Like, I went home.
That was
like,
the go-to. When you crying, but you pissed. I'm not
I wanted to do so many things that I had been taught never to do. But I just remember thinking, like, this could have been it.
That could have been it.
But I didn't do nothing.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, always, ladies, don't put your man out there
Please
to possibly get into a fight.
Don't do that.
Even if he got hands, because if he just happens to take an L that day, you better be there for his wounds. You better not leave him. Well, I can't date you no more because you can't protect me. No, you gotta take an L with him and help lick his wounds. That's how it has to be if you got him in the fight. All right, next question. So, little Shinichi here came back with a little hairdo after everything went down. His little vacay, I guess. Have you ever had for like summer break? Have you ever went away, came back with a new style?
Glow up.
Did you? How did it go? Was it good, Rob? What about you? I feel like Rob came back with the beard or something. It was just like, what's lady? What's going on?
Came back with an extra 30 pounds of all muscle.
Spice Adams laugh.
Yeah.
No, not with a beard because I didn't start growing my beard until like college. But I remember, and like, junior high school, like coming back after summer break, like I'm into rock music now. Like, I'm going to Hot Topic, like buying all this spiky shit. And I remember I had like, I just wanted to give off that image. And I remember somebody called me out on that shit like super hard. Like I had like this sticker that I put on my planner that said like preps with like a cross through it. And this kid next to me in my math class, like looked at me, was like, dude, you're a prep. What are you doing? And I was like, fuck, man, that cut my soul up. Like I knew that I wasn't pulling it off. So that's my story. That was my attempt to glow up. So I settled into this.
Ice.
I didn't really have anything. I can't. I've been growing my hair. No, I guess I kind of did because for a while, like the first 2, maybe year and a half of me growing my hair out, I just had a fro, and I would just get shape ups of my fro for like a year. And then a girl was roasting me like, boy, like, what the fuck is that? Like you Steve Harvey, nigga? Like, you got this bullshit on your head? Like, grow it out for real and get some braids or something. Like, the fuck are you doing? And this was like around AI time and stuff. So I was like, I had to come back. So I came back with the braids. That was pretty much it, though.
Mine was the opposite. Mine was I had like a little curly afro, a little curl. I had curls my whole entire life, like literally from a kid into senior year. And I think it was my brother. He's like, man, you look like the same nigga your whole life, man. Change up. And so he was like, get. That's when the waves came in. He's like, yo, you got to get some dips, man. Get some waves. And I came back, brushed. I brushed for hours a day. Came back with the waves. And let me tell you something. There was a lot of lipping everywhere I went. Hell yeah. And
you're such a light-skinned dude, bro. Oh, my God. I'm just saying, this whole story, I'm just like, wow, team light-skinned.
It was like my brother was like, use your features to your advantage. Now you got the waves. Use the eyes in the waves. Go out there, just look girls in their eyes.
That's good advice, actually.
Yeah, look them dead in their eyes and just kind of brush your hair, like pat your hair like that. And I was
that's only advice a big brother can give. Like,
yeah.
Nobody else is giving. Your uncle not giving you that advice unless he that cool young uncle.
It kind of worked. It kind of worked. I had the waves for pretty much the rest of my until
shit
right here. God was like, "Oh, you going to be cocky? Taking all that shit away."
Yikes.
So, Brendan,
I'm gonna just keep it all the way real. Like most of my life, I was actually very self-conscious about my looks. I always thought I was like pretty unattractive. Pretty much.
You're a good-looking man, Brennan.
Thank you, Ice. But yeah, I mean that's a relatively new thing for me to be able to like accept somebody saying that to me. Like I actually remember experiences in high school where a woman would kiss me, and I would think they did it out of pity. Like that's how deep it was for me. Like
what do you mean where she would kiss you? Like where?
Like we'd be at the lockers or something like that and talking, and they would grab. Like I got grabbed by a girl. She was fine as hell too, and she kissed me, and like I was just like, oh, okay. And then like the next day, I would act like nothing happened because I'm just like, she obviously did that out of pity because I was
somebody
ugly.
made a bet.
Yeah, it was. That's what, exactly.
Yeah.
I could not accept that someone that looked like her would want to kiss somebody that I felt looked like me.
So is all this assholeness now? Is that compensation?
I was
for
always an asshole, especially when it came to competition. But what I'm just saying, like my internal self, like the way that I viewed myself, like I didn't even look in a mirror, like really look in a mirror until I was like 25, 26. Like it was a real thing.
I wish I.
Like, I mean, I had looked in the mirror, but like I distinctly remember being actually surprised seeing pictures of myself because I wouldn't even look at pictures of myself. I wouldn't look in the mirror. Only time I look in the mirror, I'm like, am I ashy? Do I got crust? Okay, I'm out. Yeah. But I didn't actually look at myself, and so what?
I already know he was loaded up when you said ashy. I already know. I didn't even have to look at him. I was like,
what I'll say is that it was a real thing for me. So I actually don't recall ever having like a glow up because I never even felt good about it. I might have did it, but I never felt it.
It's a delayed
glow up. Yeah, it was very delayed, like
very
late 20s,
well, you need to
early
go back
30s.
to the mirror checking.
This guy.
He's like, next question. All right, next question.
Yeah, next question.
Is there a place in your body that if it died, you'd rather have the prostate reattached there? So like, instead of like your hand, if some like
easy.
No, whoa.
You mean parasite, not prostate, by the way. Just gonna throw it out there. You said prostate.
Okay,
I said parasite. Did I say prostate?
Yeah, you definitely.
My
said
bad.
There's a place on your body where you want your prostate. They're like, wait, what?
Oh
my God.
My bad.
Yeah, it was
Keep
a
my
little
prostate
confusing.
where it is, man.
So it's either death.
Shit.
Is there somewhere on your body that you would refuse to have the parasite be at?
Oh.
Or would you rather
The way he
in the
worded
other,
it was
the way the other option is either death or you would you rather die than put it on somewhere on your body?
No, that's a really weird worded question.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna.
it
How about,
worded weird.
can I answer the question the way that I want to? So for me, I heard that question from you as if you had to have one of these, where would you put it on your body? Because you have to obviously sacrifice
the
that part of
question
your body.
said, is there a place on your body that you would rather die than have the parasite attached to
okay,
it?
my brain done. I'm not me anymore without my brain. If it takes over your head, it's not you. So I'd rather die because I'm dead anyway.
Interesting. All right, so it's your question. Go ahead.
I don't want it on my dick, bro. I don't.
So you'd let it take your brain over your dick?
Yes. Yes, 100%.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Like I'm not. You're not saying I think with my dick first, but it's like
No, I stand by what I said. I said what I said.
If I'm having sex with somebody and I'm not attached with my Miki, like Miki goes ballistic, that's a murder charge.
I think it's really ironic that you said I don't think with my dick first after that entire statement you just said.
But I'm giving you an example.
I stand by I said what I said.
I'm giving you an example. If I'm having sex, and that like or
why does sex matter if your brain doesn't exist, bro? How do you feel sex?
What do you mean? My brain is intact. I'm saying I would rather die than have the parasite on my dick. Like you say, hey, would you rather die or have the parasite on your dick? I would rather die because I'm catching bodies regardless.
But would you rather die or have it on your brain?
I mean, if it's in my brain,
But
I
I'm
don't
saying
have
out of all
control.
the
You're
places
dying
you could
either
pick.
way, really.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's what but I'm saying like out of all the places
I mean,
you
you
pick,
went with the
pick your
most
dick.
like direct answer.
Yeah.
But
But for
it's
me,
like-
it's like, Brennan, either you die or your parasite takes over your dick right now. And I'm like, I'm probably going to live and have superpowers. The super dick.
No, your
Like,
dick is going to kill people. Your dick is going to kill people, and not the figuratively.
His hand doesn't kill people.
What is it? What do you mean?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
I mean,
what
it
are you
does.
talking
It kills
about?
other
It don't kill
parasites.
people.
It
It's the
kills
whole
other
show.
It kills
It's the whole
other
show.
It kills other parasites.
Oh my god.
That's
What
I'm saying.
people has it killed?
What if, so all right.
What
Brennan,
people has the
Brennan,
Mickey killed?
All right, right. I know we might not even. Let's answer this real quick. So if you sitting there walking, right, and
I
your
like how you can't even not laugh while you're saying that.
and your parasite dick is like two ticks away.
Or
Two
and
ticks
it
away.
just
We got another
fucking-
parasite. And you just sitting there. You would rather have that?
Then die? Yeah.
Oh my god.
I
Think
don't
about
know, dog.
going against somebody and you got to fight. And it's like bringing the dick out, like and you just shing.
Rather be alive.
Oh my god.
What about you, Rob?
Fuck, man. I don't know if I could top that.
No, I'm saying
Yeah, I feel like-
would you in that instance, would you rather be dead than like hey, it's gonna take
In
the
that
dick and you die?
particular instance,
Yeah.
is that the real question? Is would I want
It
a
is
parasite
now.
on my dick?
It is.
I feel
now,
like
Rob.
that. I
Where
feel
we're
like that
going.
is the question behind the question.
Yeah.
Listen, I think what the larger thing we're missing here is that these things are here to learn, right? Like, he's trying to. That's what's missing from our debate last week too. Is like,
Yes.
you guys are acting like this thing's going to go out of control. Like, it's clearly got a high intelligence. He's trying to help. He's trying to blend in.
I
I
like
think there's an
where you're going
argument to
with
be
this, Rob.
made. I think there's an argument to be made that he'll just like chill out. Most of the time, I mean, listen, you
For the
run into a
record, Rob
parasite
has-
and that shit start going off like a fire hose or a wacky
Exactly.
inflatable arm thing. Like that's gonna be tough. But is it better than dying? Maybe.
I honestly think
You notice that Rob just goes every time it's sexual with the parasite, he's with it.
because Rob understands. I think Rob even thinks like me in that instance. It's like I agree. The parasite wants to learn at the end of the day. And I think if it's enjoying pleasure, it's going to enjoy pleasure. When it has to go to work, it's going to go to work.
But think about
That's
it.
it.
Like
That's
the
it.
first
for her,
time that it
for
that
her
it-
today will be bigger.
But think about it coming and it don't know what it means. Like it don't know what busting a nut means, and he but.
And I'm like, oh my God, here's all these sexual education things.
it's blades just coming every. That's what I'm worried about.
Since it educates itself, the first thing, since I know it's down there, the first thing I'm going to do
is educate.
Is we're gonna Google this for the next 5 hours, and you need to learn. You need to watch. You're gonna be up here by yourself. You're gonna be up here reading like this. And you're gonna get it all. You're gonna understand, so you know what to do in that situation. Make it fun for the young lady that you're with or whoever you're with, and then make sure you just don't go wild out here in these streets.
Moving on.
Just killing motherfuckers, man. All right. I don't think I asked this in this way. Does trauma take away our humanity? Hurt people. Brandon.
Yeah, this was my question, and this is a deep question. Obviously, is that like, you know, if you look at like childhood trauma, and I'm not gonna. So I start this off. I am not a psychiatrist. I am not a therapist. I am not any of those things. I'm just asking your opinion of the things that you've seen anecdotally here. Okay. And what I've been able to see is that trauma sometimes can remove empathy from people.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and that's why I put the statement in there, hurt people can't hurt people. Typically, whenever you see somebody that's like a horrible dictator that can kill swaths of people and be okay with it, or serial killer or whatever, a lot of the times it's like you look at their childhood or look at the traumas they've gone to. It's like they're inflicting the pain on you that they feel or felt themselves or don't feel anymore. And so for me, I think that's a weird it was a weird way to word the question, because, you know, then that goes into the question, what is humanity? But I will say that I do think that trauma can sometimes numb our emotions, and a lot of people you could argue that our emotional capabilities, or, you know, knowledge of self and our emotions is what makes being humans human. So my extremely truncated answer would be like, yeah, I think it does sometimes.
Rob?
I certainly think it can. I don't know that it does entirely, because I think that can be a make or break moment for a lot of people, right? Like it can send people off in one direction where maybe they cut themselves off from those feelings, or maybe they go the other way where they want to help people, you know, so they don't experience the same things they did. But I don't know if that is a complicated question, because does it become sort of like what we talked about on Evangelion with the hedgehog's dilemma, right? Where it's like, are they really losing their humanity, or are they trying to protect themselves from further hurt, right? I think that's something to consider. But I do agree that hurt people do hurt people. I think when you see people going out there doing things, you know, with the exception of like if they're, you know, that fraction of percent that they're just deranged and they're just the things never connected in their brain from the beginning. I certainly think when you see people doing horrible things to others, it can generate from some sort of trauma. Yeah, absolutely.
How about you, Ice?
Yeah, 100%. I think that I feel like it's a direct correlation between the two. And just me as a prime example, it's like I've become, like I said, this emotional spectrum, this stuff is new because my upbringing, whether it was necessary or not, it's like if I fold in this situation, I'm pussy forever. Like at school with the girl and stuff, like it's so many situations that I've been in growing up until college, even after college. That's like, if I fold in this moment, there's no coming back for this. Like you people don't forget. People still making fun of you for being a pussy in 7th grade. Yeah. People still making, like, college, all of that. Oh, yeah, I remember that dude. He used to get his ass whooped. Like, so it's so many things that I saw growing up that was like, I can't fold. Yeah. Even though I want to talk it out, I got to go to 10. And that, I mean, and it's stuff like that is still affecting me to this day. So it's like, it does, because you desensitize yourself so many times to go through that. It's like, hey, I could talk my way out of this. I could have, you know, some emotional capacity, but it's like I can't. And you do that for so many years that it's like it's instilled in you, and then you look back on it, it's like, fuck, I can't process anything, because if I cry, I'm looked at as soft. If I say something, I looked at as soft. I can't, like, me telling Brennan that he's a good-looking man, I couldn't have did that 10 years ago. Right. 15 years ago, I would have roasted the fuck out of myself. Like, get your gay ass out of here telling another man.
No homo, you would have hit all that stuff.
Yeah. I would get your gay ass out of here telling that man he look like he's a good-looking man. But it's like, yeah, I feel like that certain things and certain ways of life, it changes your psyche because you've done it so much, you don't know no other way.
I think personally, it's if you understand that, get help. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I'm in therapy. You know, I talk to y'all about therapy all the time. Right. I've been in therapy. I just hit a year in therapy. And that shit has worked wonders because the trauma that I've been through, it's just a lot of wild stuff. So I think you, as long as you acknowledge that shit exists, try to I guess find that balance or find that problem and stop it before you do hurt somebody, because I agree. I think in a lot of cases hurt people do hurt people, or you do go to, like Rob said, you do go the opposite way. You go like, you might go the other way and go to the extreme. You might be like, all right, I'm going to help everybody that I can, which is the way I feel like I'm going now anyways. It's like I'm trying to help as many people as I can that might have been through similar things that I've been through and don't go through that way. There is a way to, I guess, quote unquote, fix it. So let me get this last question. It's kind of a two-parter.
Okay.
Do you think you would react the same way Shinichi did when he was confronted by his mom? And do you think you can kill somebody that you love that was possessed by a parasite? Me, personally, just knowing the way I was raised, this trauma that I just spoke about, I think personally, you just a dead motherfucker. Like, it's like I'm going to... I know how these parasites work already. This is not like I'm just like, wait, I'm the first time seeing this, so I might panic and get killed like Shinichi did this first, or like stabbed in the heart like Shinichi did. He knows how these parasites work. You knew your mom was one. As soon as you knew that she was one, that's not your mom. Get her up out of here, bro. Just get it done, and it's light work. That's how I would have felt about it. Rob?
Yeah, that's really tough, man. I mean, it's like, you come across that question all the time in like the zombie genre, right? Like somebody gets bit and they turn. Are they that person anymore? And really the answer is no, but of course it's still going to be hard to do that.
Yeah.
For me personally, you want to think in the moment that like, my logical self would kick and be like, that's not them. But, just like Shinichi, when he sees the mom's scar and it brings back all that emotion of who that person was for him, that's fucking tough. I mean, I want to say I think I could, because you get that fight or flight response, that thing where it's just like, that's not them. I know this is wrong. I think it's still going to fuck you up a long time. I think that honestly, one of the greatest things that Parasyte and Uda did as characters this last episode was kill the mom. So he's like, you shouldn't have to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I mean, I'd like to think that I could if it were that situation, but that's fucking hard, man.
It reminds me of like it was an episode of Walking Dead where I forgot the dude's name, where I forgot what they called him. They called him remember he kept his daughter like chained up and she was a zombie, and then I think they end up, spoiler alert, she ends up getting killed, but he kept his daughter a zombie for a long time because he was just like, nah, like either I'm gonna find a cure or just I can't kill my daughter. So it's wild. What about you, Brennan?
In the moment when I was watching this show, when he faced his mom in the hallway, my first reaction was like, this motherfucker is weak. Like, you gotta be able to kill this mother. You gotta. It's you or them. Like, you have to be able to do it. And then I closed my eyes. I paused the show. I closed my eyes and thought. I was like, try to imagine my mom. Like, mom. Like in that situation, coming down the hallway at me right now. I don't think I could do it. I think I would hope that I would run at the least.
Yeah.
At least in the first encounter, I don't think I could do it. I think I hope that I would be more about my life than Shinichi was in this moment. But like when I close my eyes and think about my mother and ending even the lifeful body that might not be her anymore, it'd be extremely difficult for me. So, and that's anybody I love though. That's not just my mom. And I don't know how I would be able to pull myself to do that.
Right.
So yeah, for me, I actually at first was making fun of like how he was and how he allowed himself to get killed, pretty much killed. But like, and really like taking a moment and thinking about it, I was just like,
I get it.
There's no shame in what happened there. None.
Yeah.
Ice.
I'm killing my mom with no hesitation.
We're sending this to her.
No hesitation. And my mom would understand it because we always have those conversations. And I
yeah, mom, if you become a parasite, I'm definitely killing you.
Or a zombie or whatever.
Because I love horror, and my mom is the reason that I got into horror. And we always tell each other, like, hey, like, if that time comes, and there's, like you said, we always tell each other, like, if the time comes where there's no cure and you can't lock me up and there's, like, zombie or nothing, blow my head smooth off. And that's a joke like her and I have. Is like blow my head smooth off, like, and go about it. And so in this situation, if my mom's a parasite, I'm killing her.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be an emotional wreck.
Oh, absolutely.
After it happens.
Yeah.
But in the moment, because it's not only are you gonna kill me, you know, you're gonna go kill my sister, you're gonna go kill my son. It's the repercussions of that. It's like I gotta deal with this now.
There's no way you're getting out of this emotional wreck.
Yeah.
If you let her go and she kills everybody, you're an emotional wreck.
Exactly.
If you kill her, you're an emotional wreck.
You gotta take care of it.
Right.
So it's like you gotta the collateral. I'd rather have the collateral damage be on my end than anybody else's.
I agree. All right, so that's the end of that portion, man. We're gonna talk about the likes and dislikes we have and give our ratings. Rob, you want to go first?
Sure. I think my like and my dislike, which is just a kind of a light dislike, honestly, is kind of tied to the same thing. So I'm going to double dip on this one. I'm going to say what they did with the character, the mom, I thought was really well done. The fact that, so what I liked about it is that just kind of what I said, the fact that they built up what that scar meant to both her and Shinichi, and that it played such a huge role in their conflicts in several fights. And even the fact that like they kind of had like a subtle difference. And this is something I think I noticed is that like she had much longer hair. And when she came back, I was like, damn, she looks different. What I realized is her hair is shorter. It's at her neckline because that's where her fucking head got cut off. Like she's changed like physically.
Damn.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Damn.
And so I felt like that was a really nice touch. And it kind of that was the catalyst that took this show in the direction that I'm really starting to find it interesting. My one dislike about that, and like I said, it's a small dislike, is I think they could have made her more of a main villain that could have like strung throughout.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Kind of like,
and I think that would have been really cool. It seems like we're going back towards Ryoko as the main villain, which I'm kind of like the emotional stakes just aren't quite as strong for me. Whereas this is like, you know, obviously anything dealing with his mom, you're at 10 like every time. So that's my small piece of grief with this. But I would say I'm really enjoying the show. My rating, I'm gonna give it a 6,800.
Okay,
It's really good.
Rob, real quick, what was that that saying that you said about writing the gun on the wall theory? What's that called?
Oh, Chekhov's gun.
Who's gun? Chekhov's gun. Okay.
Brennan?
I had a weird moment that it was my favorite moment. So, because my favorite moment was going to be what Rob said, the mom arc, but I'm just going to give a different one because of that. So my actual answer is Rob's. But so my secondary answer was I actually really, really, really liked the moment when that bully dude challenged Shinichi to a fight again. And Shinichi's like, bro, you don't want this. And the dude's like, nah, like, you know, he's coming at him. And my man was making some good moves. And Shinichi's just like, get off. Like, stop. And then the girl pull up and she's like, what's going on? And he's just like, nothing. We're cool. I'm going to leave your shoe here.
No, he just left it.
That when he did that, I was just like, ooh.
Yeah, that was
cold. He's like, I'm just going to
It
leave your
is.
shoe right here because you tried to kick me. I took your shoe off your foot, knocked you down, put it down in front of the girl and was like, yo, we're good. We're just playing around, and walked off. I was like, that was dope.
That was hard.
Damn, like that's who I want to be.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. In a fight, that's who you want to be. I don't even want to. I don't need to physically harm you.
I feel like that's more embarrassing than whooping somebody else.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's like
it is.
I could have hurt you so bad, and I chose not to.
That's more of
Remember
a
that.
psychological thing.
Yeah,
That's
you'll
that's
never
crazy.
touch me again.
Yeah.
So that was the favorite part. My least favorite part actually was the other parasite in the guy's chin.
Yes.
I thought that parasite was so whack.
Yeah, it was trash.
Like that guy's character. The only thing I liked about that guy's character is that he showed the emotional juxtaposition against Shinichi, where Shinichi was telling the story and he's crying at the story, and Shinichi's sitting there like, "Oh crap, I'm not crying. This is my mother. This is sad." And I get all that, but at the same time, like I'm okay with that character being emotional, but I'm not okay with his parasite being like noticeably weaker than Shinichi's, even though there's no real difference. You know what I'm saying? Shinichi's could go toe to toe with another parasite that took over a head, which he did multiple times. This guy on the chin, first fight, stab, I'm out. You know, like
Actually, he won.
No, he won. He wasn't the plan. If Shinichi didn't show up, his plan was to lay there and play dead. Yeah. That's not winning. You know what I'm saying? That's just surviving.
But Shinichi's parasite only went toe to toe with those brain parasites because he had Shinichi backing him up and they worked as a team.
Yeah.
That's the only reason they won those fights. And that dude was a blubbery baby.
Yeah.
But he didn't lose. You know what I'm saying? Shinichi didn't get stabbed by one of those outside of his mom, obviously. But either way, I don't know. I just didn't really. I feel like I hope that character comes back and gets developed more. That was my least favorite part. But I did like the show as a whole a lot more than I did last week. I think last week I gave it like a 6,000. I'm actually gonna match Rob. I'll give it a 6,800.
Okay. Well, I mean, my favorite part was the confrontation with the mom. Just that whole like that one-on-one, that eye to eye, because that was a big moment. It's hard because I think Rob kind of said it. It's like I wish she would have something would have happened to where they would have had to clash at the end of this season or something like that, and that would have made it to where he had to make that decision or not. But I mean, I just had to go on that's my favorite part. I guess I can also say another part is him standing up to the bullies. Also, my least favorite part. I can't. You know what? I can't really say I had a least favorite part. Maybe just kind of like the love stuff going back and forth with the girls. Like I don't really care for the relationship because there's no. Right now, I don't know who he really likes out. Yeah. There's like 3 women that he interacted with in his stretch of 4 that was feeling them, and it was just like, if they're gonna have a love connection, make it strong enough so where something happens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I guess that's just the weakest part to me. But this show is holding it. People said it was dope. I give it a 6,900, close to like a 7,000 to be honest with you. I like it. I'm feeling it. Ice.
Favorite part for me was when he was talking to the girl and then his real girl came up behind him and she finessed him because it was like, God.
Yeah, she definitely was like, I see her coming. Like,
that is a situation
can you walk
that Ice
me
has
home?
been in. That's why Ice was like, this is me.
Yeah, Ice is like, too much empathy. Too much empathy.
I think, I mean, for those reasons. It was just funny to see that. And obviously somebody had to go through it to even make that. So it's like, I'm not the only one that's on bullshit. But I think that was my favorite part. My least favorite part was like you said, the dude, him all that crying and shit. It's like I couldn't do it. Like I know you're trying to make a parasite or a person that's really different from Shinichi, but you could have done a better job with that. I don't feel like I just didn't like it. Overall, this is a really dope show, and especially something that we always talk about is like, if all this shit is happening early on, what's the rest look like? So if you fucking killing your mom at episode 7 or 8, like these next what do you got? 16 episodes.
You hope that wasn't the
exactly.
Yeah,
I don't think it will.
Yeah.
I don't think
if you I trust it. As dark as it got that quick, I feel like these next 16 episodes about to be wicked. Like I really see it doing that. So overall, like I said, much better stretch of episodes. Not like the last one was bad, but obviously they were setting the table. 7,000 for me.
That might be the closest ratings we've ever had for a set of episodes.
All of us.
Tight grouping,
Maybe early on we might have had closer ratings, but ever since
Ice is normally the one.
No, Keenan and I was on the same accord for a good minute.
At the beginning, I felt like we were kind of close in ratings, and maybe this show has kind of done it. I mean, let us know what y'all think in the comment section. What was your favorite moment? What was your worst moment? What is y'all rating for these 5 through 8 right here? Y'all want to drop your stuff? Go ahead, Ice.
Ice. Dot McGowan on everything.
Rob.
Harvey Danger on Instagram.
Mr. Brennan.
At Mr. Producer Face on Venmo.
Keenan Baker on every single thing, man. Follow the Animeshun podcast on all platforms, man. Instagram, Facebook. We're going to be posting more stuff on there. We put some clips up today. And we thank y'all for tuning in every week. Next week, we'll be doing episodes, 9 through 12.
Yep.
So
9 to 12.
Along on Parasyte, the Maximum. And we
Maxim.
The Maxim.
You thinking about the magazine?
Maxim's a magazine.
Yeah. It's a great magazine. The Maximum. He said the Maximum.
You said the Maximum.
Yeah.
Rewind the tape. What did I say?
Actually, play the whole episode again and then hear it.
Yeah, stream it again for us. So we thank y'all for tuning in every week, man, and thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Animeshun. We out.
Peace.
And so anime was solved forever.